everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Kara, and today we'll be doing a 30-minute full body deep stretch practice. This practice is open to all levels, and we will be using some props and some modifications as we go along. I've begun by sitting on a block and a blanket, and I have another block here, a strap, and another blanket. So let's get started. First, taking your seated posture. And maybe starting by closing the eyes. Beginning to feel into our body. Feeling the sits bones on the block or the mat. Beginning to lengthen out through the crown of the head, lengthening through the spine, shoulders back and down, heart centers open, resting the palms on the thighs, palms up or palms down, whatever feels good. Beginning to bring the awareness to the breath. First, just noticing the quality of the breath. And beginning to take a few exhales out through the mouth. Using the exhalation to begin to release tension down into the floor. To engage our full yogic breathing, so bringing one hand to the belly, one hand to the diaphragm. Bring the breath into the belly, feeling the belly inflate, feeling the hand press out as the belly presses out, and then into the diaphragm. Exhaling, beginning to draw the muscles of the belly and the diaphragm in towards the spine to empty out the breath completely. And then filling up, maybe rocking the pelvis forward a little bit, letting the pelvis expand, and then exhaling, letting the pelvis rock up a bit as we release the breath. Deepening and elongating the breath further with each breath. Maybe engaging the Ujjayi breath, slightly closing off the back of the throat. Making an oceany sound with the breath, helping to focus the mind. Relaxing through the face, the shoulders, down into the abdomen, the pelvis, and the legs into the floor. Let's engage the heart center as well, the upper chest. So starting low in the belly, filling up. Expanding through the diaphragm and then into the upper chest. Retain the breath for a moment and then exhale. Drawing the muscles in towards the spine. Let's do 3 more full yogic breaths. Filling up like a glass of water. Filling up from the belly all the way to the collarbones. Each breath becoming more and more present in this moment in time, in whatever space you're in. Feeling into your body, your mind, your heart. Relaxing. Letting go. Before releasing the hands down, back to the thighs. And let's begin by stretching through the neck. So inhaling and exhaling, dropping the ear to the shoulder and then lengthening out the opposite arm, pressing through the heel of the hand. And then we'll bring this other hand up to the side of the head. Inhaling and exhaling, pressing gently, moving the ear down towards the shoulder. Breathing into the tension, actively moving this shoulder down, away from the ear. One more breath. And then rotating, moving the chin towards the armpit, back of the hand towards, or the hand to the back of the head, inhaling, and then exhaling, pulling the chin down towards the armpit as we move the opposite shoulder down, continuing to press through the heel of the hand, stretching through the back of the neck, which attaches to our shoulder blade here, the levator scapular muscle, breathing into it. Beautiful. Inhaling, rolling the chin towards the chest, interlacing the fingers, inhaling and exhaling. We're pressing into the back of the head, but also pulling up as we depress the shoulders down, elbows out, creating some space in the vertebrae in the neck. Breathing. Keeping the spine long, pressing through the sits bones, navel in towards the spine. Beautiful. And then bringing the chin towards the opposite armpit, elongating the opposite arm, pressing through the heel of the hand. Stretching from the neck into the shoulder blade. One more breath. And then rotating the ear to the shoulder. Hand comes to the side of the head. Inhaling and exhaling, putting a little traction, lengthening through the trapezius muscle. And inhaling, releasing. Exhaling back to center. Beautiful. Let's roll the neck a few times. Inhaling, dropping the chin to the chest. Bringing the ear to the shoulder and exhaling back. Inhaling and exhaling back down. Let's do a couple times more in this direction. On the other side, inhaling and exhaling around. One more time. And then inhaling to center. Beautiful. So let's start to work into the shoulders and the hips, working with Gomukhasana or cow face pose. So we'll go ahead and come down off the blanket and the block. You might want to keep your blanket handy and also might like to grab your strap. For coming into the pose, we'll bring the right knee in towards the center line of the body and then cross the other leg on top, stacking the knees and moving the feet out towards the front of the mat, pretty much in line with the knees. If you find that coming into this pose, one hip is lifted, you can't quite get that other sits bound down on the mat, you can go ahead and sit on your blanket. Support that sits bone. You can also, if you find that there's a bit of a gap here between the legs, you can also place the blanket in between the legs. Put a little support in between the knees. And then also, you can come into more of an easy pose with the foot in front would be a modification. You could also bring the soles of the feet together and come into butterfly position. So finding what variation in the legs works for you. And then again, we'll have our strap handy for bringing in the arms. So grabbing onto the strap with the right hand, bending the right elbow, letting the strap hang, and then grabbing on with the other hand from below. Okay, so from the side. Good, and then we're trying not to collapse through the upper body, moving the elbow back, sitting with the spine straight. Then we're pulling on the strap, inhaling, and then exhaling, moving forward with a straight spine, keeping the neck in line with the spine, feeling that nice stretch through the hips. With each exhalation, see if we can deepen further, bring the chest towards the knee. Again, our variations in the legs, we might be more in a cross-legged posture coming forward, or even a butterfly posture. Just take a couple more breaths. And inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, releasing the strap, relaxing the shoulders. We'll come to the other side, so bringing the left knee in front, and then the right knee on top, scooching the feet out towards the front of the mat. This time we'll bring the left arm above the head, and then reaching back to the right hand. Inhaling, lengthening through the spine. Exhaling, coming forward, keeping the spine straight. Feeling that stretch in the right hip. Keep moving the elbows back. Let's take 2 more breaths here, breathing into the tension in the hip. And inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, releasing the arms down, releasing the legs. We'll stretch the legs out in front and just shaking out the tension in the legs a little bit. Beautiful. And then we'll all come into butterfly position here for a moment. Inhaling the feet in towards the body. Exhaling, coming down with this straight spine. Pressing the elbows into the calves. Inhaling, coming up. And then exhaling, lengthening out that left leg. Bringing the right foot in towards that inner left thigh. Let's go ahead, find the strap again. Placing the strap on the arch of the left foot and orienting the hips towards that left foot. Inhaling, pulling on the strap, lengthening through the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Exhaling, chest towards the knee. With each breath, lengthening through the crown of the head, keeping that spine nice and straight here. Exhaling down, feeling that deep stretch into the hamstring. Keep tilting the tailbone out a bit to keep lengthening. Keep orienting that right hip and shoulder in line with the left as much as we can. Crown of the head reaching towards the toes. Then bring the straps into the left hand. We'll place the elbow onto the floor, just inside that inner left thigh. If it's a struggle to get the elbow down to the floor, you just bring a block. Place the elbow and the forearm on the block. Holding onto the strap, inhaling the right arm up. Looking up towards the hand, rotating the torso up towards the ceiling. Inhaling up and exhaling, dropping that arm over, continuing to rotate, using the traction of the elbow to help rotate through the torso. Reaching out through those fingertips. Feeling nice stretch all the way through the hip, the side body, into the shoulder, out through the fingertips. If you want to go further, you can bend the elbow, reach for the strap with the right hand, and then pull the head through. Breathing into the right rib cage. One more breath. Beautiful. And then using that right arm, inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, releasing down. And then coming to the other side, lengthening out the right leg. Left leg comes in. If we know we're going to use that block, we'll just place that here to start. Orienting the hips towards that right foot. Activate that right foot, pointing the toes up towards the ceiling, placing the strap on the arch of the foot, and orienting hips and shoulders towards the foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepening. And then repeating. Inhale, lengthening, shoulders away from the ears. Exhaling down, left hip orienting itself towards the foot, in line with the right as much as we can. Breathing into the tension in the back of the leg. See if we can soften and deepen on the exhalation. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Maybe closing the eyes. Right hand, straps come into the right hand, bringing the elbow and the forearm to the block or the floor. And inhaling the left arm up, rotating through the torso. Looking up towards the left hand, activating the fingers. Inhale. Exhale over, twisting. Breathing into this left rib cage, expanding into the side of the body. Good. One more breath. Again, if we want to deepen, maybe bend the elbow, reach, grab onto that strap, thread the head through, rotating further, looking up. Inhale, use that left arm to take us up. Exhaling, releasing down. Beautiful. Let's work a little more into the spine and the shoulders, coming onto the hands and knees. Hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. And doing some cat and cows, inhaling, dropping the belly, engaging the shoulder blades in towards the spine. So we're engaging the chest as well, down towards the floor. And exhaling, rounding, tucking the tailbone, pressing through the hands, pressing through the back. Inhaling, looking up. And exhale, let's look over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, looking over the left shoulder. Good. Inhale, center. Exhaling, rounding. Maybe dropping the buttocks down towards the heels, shifting side to side, getting into the low back. And then inhaling, coming up. One more time. Exhaling. Good. Inhaling, back to center. Coming in to thread the needles. Dropping that right arm underneath the left, bringing the side of the head towards the floor. Inhaling, looking up towards that left hand, extending the left hand up towards the ceiling. And then bending the elbow, pressing the back of the hand into the back or grabbing onto the inner thighs with the fingertips. Pressing through the back of the right hand, opening the left shoulder. Deep breaths in the belly. On the exhale, opening the left shoulder out. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Coming back to tabletop. Other side, left arm threads through. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, let the arm fall over, bend the elbow, reach into those inner thighs with the fingertips or press the back of the hand into the back. Deep breath. Feeling the stretch not only in the shoulder but the torso, the back, breathing. Deepening, pressing into the back of the left hand as well in the arm. Good, one more breath. Inhaling the arm up and over. And exhaling back to center. Excellent. Let's stretch a little more into that back, the mid-back, so bringing the toes to the mat, rounding, grabbing onto the heels, coming into rabbit pose. Inhale, and then exhale, pulling on the feet, lengthening through the arms, crown of the head moving towards the floor, and then we're really rounding, pressing through the back. Excellent. 2 more breaths. Good, inhale. And then exhale, release a moment in child's pose. Drop the forehead and relax through the shoulders, letting the arms rest at the sides. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhaling, pressing up. Exhaling, sitting back on the heels in Vajrasana, taking a breath. Good. Let's keep back bending and stretching into the front of the body, coming into Ustrasana or camel pose. So knees underneath the hips. We can use a blanket or some blocks here, or we just go straight for reaching into those ankles. Or you can just support the back hands with the hands on the low back. So inhaling, roll the shoulders back and down. Place the hands on the low back, fingertips pointing down. Inhale and exhale. Start to engage your glutes and your quads as you press the hips forward. Squeezing the shoulder blades, moving the inner elbows together. Can continue to look forward or let the head hang. We want to deepen into it, bringing the hands down to the blanket or the blocks here, or grabbing onto the ankles. Squeeze those shoulder blades, breathe into the heart. Squeeze through the glutes, pressing forward. A great stretch all the way through the quads, the hip flexors, up through the front of the body. When we're ready to come out, support your low back again. Hands to the low back, inhaling, coming up. And exhaling, rounding forward. Dropping down to child's pose one more time. And then hands underneath the shoulders. Inhaling, pressing up. Exhaling back. Let's take a little twist here. Inhaling the arms up. And exhaling, twisting to the left, to your right hand against the outer left thigh. And then again, maybe bending that elbow. Keep tilting the tailbone down, flattening out the low back. Breathing into the belly. Looking over the left shoulder. One more breath. If it's too uncomfortable to be sitting on your heels, you just sit in cross-legged pose. One more breath. Inhale. Exhaling back to center. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, other side. Try not to shrug that right shoulder up here. Bring it down, pressing through the hands. Good, one more breath. Inhale. And exhaling, releasing back. Let's move the props off the mat. Come back to tabletop. Inhale, toes to the mat. And exhale, taking it up to down dog. Walking out the dog. And stretching through the calves and the ankles. Pedaling the feet. And then walking the hands The feet towards the hands, coming into forward fold, Uttanasana, maybe grabbing onto the back of the calves, hugging the chest towards the knees. Excellent. Inhale, let's bring the fingertips to the floor. Step the left foot back, right foot is forward. Right knee over the ankle. Might need to scooch the foot forward a little bit. Then bending into it. You can drop that left top of the foot to the floor, stretching through the hip flexor. Engage the left glute here. Let's bring the left arm up. You can also use a block here for balance. Bringing a block with the right hand on the block or reaching down towards the floor. Could also bring the hand to the hip. Nice stretch all the way through the quadricep, the hip flexor, letting that tension release down into the floor. Inhaling, coming up. And then exhaling, coming into reverse lunge. Again, you can always grab blocks here, get a little height. Pressing the heel down and towards the floor and then pulling back, lengthening through the back of the leg. Spine is lengthening. And exhaling. One more breath. Maybe even dropping down further, the buttocks down towards the heel. Good. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, release the right knee to the floor, and then bring the left leg up. Letting the foot come a little bit further so that when we bend into it, knee is over the ankle. And then this is here where we might use that block as we bring the right arm up, squeezing the right glute, twisting through the torso, looking up towards the ceiling, up to the right. Keep pressing through this left foot to keep a little space in this hip joint so we're not just hanging into it. Core is engaged. Breathing. One more breath. Inhaling, coming up. Bring the right arm down, hands to the block or the mat. Exhale, shift the hips back, left toes point up towards the ceiling. Press the left heel into the floor. Inhale and exhale, pulling back. Chest moves towards the knee. Shoulders away from the ears, lengthen through the crown of the head, looking down towards the floor. Excellent. Inhaling, coming up. And exhaling, releasing down. Let's bring the blocks to the top of the mat. Release down all the way onto the stomach. Roll the shoulders back and down. Bring the fingertips and palms underneath the shoulders. Pin the elbows in. And let's take another back bend. Inhaling up into cobra. Engaging through the heart center. Shoulder blades moving in towards the spine. Feel how it feels to engage your glutes and release the glutes. See how that feels with the low back. Some people prefer engaging to stabilize the low back. Some people prefer letting go. Seeing how that feels. Pressing through the heel of the hand. Let's take it a little further. Arching back, maybe lengthening the arms out. Good. Inhale, lift through the hips. And exhale. Widen those knees. Touch the big toes. Relax down into child's pose. Continuing to rest in child's pose for another few breaths. And then slowly rolling onto the back, coming into corpse pose or shavasana. With the arms and legs out, away from the body, out to the sides. Legs more than hip width apart to allow the pelvis to completely relax. Then resting in shavasana for another 5 to 10 minutes. Seeing if you can stay present, feeling into your body, feeling the benefit of the practice, the sense of relaxation, but also alertness and energy flowing through the body. So I hope you've enjoyed this practice today. I'm wishing you all a Happy New Year, and please like and subscribe and stay tuned for our next practice. Love to you all.